Okay. I poured some laundry water, which was a little dark or gray, you could say, from my black robe having been soaked in the hot water with Gain detergent in there, about uh, an ounce of Gain detergent. And that's just for this one black robe that's hanging here to dry. I have it hanging inside to dry because of the bad neighborhood. So I poured the laundry water over this tile floor, but I did not mop itself. If nobody knows that I poured the laundry water before it dries, just because God dried the tile floor, but it will look just like it was before. It wasn't mopped, some of the unsanitary off to the sides. So it's just a dried floor. I left this Dr. Pepper case box by the side of the door, and I want it to stay here until it's full, and then I'll take it to the dumpster myself. I know what's in there. This stuff can all be removed and put in the dumpster by anyone who passes by. You don't have to scold me because you're threatening you're going to take this stuff away from me. If you threaten to take it away from me, I'm not going to scold you that you owe me a new apartment or house with everything inside renovated and ready for myself exactly. I'm not going to scold you for that. So what's a scolding? Is if it's somebody says, you should know not to mistreat me because what's mistreatment? You should know not to talk to me about myself because I'll take away all of these things because they move. So if somebody who knows that I'm here walks by this corridor and says, you should know not to talk to me about myself because I will take away everything that moves here. And I would say, you should know not to scold me or talk to me about myself because I am not yourself is alive that way for you. And you can take all of this away and put it in the dumpster because it's garbage. And you would not do that for me, is not due to myself. And if you touch something here, you owe me a new place to live that's renovated new, everything for myself, exactly ready for me. This is a standoff. Who put a hole in the wall and installed this and made it look like it's been here all along? But I know that it's new. Why don't you people leave? This has been mopped up before and this came back. I did not mop it up ever. I can't get that off the floor with a mop. I didn't try. I didn't try because there's something wrong with the flooring that needs to be, the apartment is locked up empty. And I need another place to live. There is some new place for me out there that God knows where it is and what it is, but I don't have the keys to get in there because of what this is. I want this to stay here, and I want to take it to the dumpster myself because I can. But I am not a hostage. You can clear out everything outside the front door and take it to the dumpster, and you still owe me another place to live with a toilet that I would use. A new toilet that's just for myself that I would use. If your answer is no because you're threatening to take away everything that moves and put it in the dumpster, and I should know not to talk to you about yourself ever. And I am shouting, you can get out! I am not afraid of you! I don't work for you either! I am still going to die when I die, but I don't know you, I don't trust you, I don't believe you, and I don't need you. Now! And ever! Everywhere I am, ever! And I can see you, ever! When I'm deceased out of the door locking. This is bottled water. And it goes right out the door. Everything that moves when you knock on this door. It goes right out the door. But it's bottled water. It is itself. But when I'm shouted, everything moves out the door. Because I don't know you, I don't trust you, I don't believe you, and I don't need you. I drink the water cold for the taste. I can drink this bottled water when it's cold. I used to drink at room temperature when C.Toh was here. I could drink bottled water at room temperature, a lot of it. Now I drink it cold. So you're going to leave this here because you're not going to give me another place to live away from you, and you can go to jail and stay there. But I know what's in that box. And you're going to leave this here because you don't work for me or for yourself, and you're not going to jail for any reason, are you? You're going to walk by this mess day after day or just leave it there. Like you're still standing there and looking at it, but you're not alive that way. I'm not sucking on what you make comments on in the comments. That's not sucking. I am dismissing the comments. That is why you are allowed to make comments. They are dismissed by myself in the leverage. And you don't have to talk to me about myself about that. Because my leverage is everybody who's not myself to myself. And if you're not the creator of myself and the creator of my genitals, you talk to me about myself is against your genitals and against everybody who's not yourself to yourself. All their genitals. Because of what I just said in the video, I am telling you that I'm using a used paper plate that I rinsed off with hot water, and I rinsed this off with hot water, and I'm going to use it again. You don't afford disposable paper plate and disposable knife. You don't afford it. You don't actually have it thrown out. You still want to talk to me about myself? I'm dismissing all the children that are formed. Ever. Because you can't talk to a child about itself because it doesn't speak about its size. It doesn't know why it's small. It doesn't speak over its size. It doesn't know why it's small. In the same way, I am your Godhead. And there's nothing I can say with words about that you don't know that interiorly. I cannot inform you that I am your Godhead. I am eternal. If you don't know me, that is yourself. I am myself. Eternal is myself. Sesame seeds, brown ones, and white ones, and poppy seeds. They're all no, like don't eat the bagel because it has seeds on it. But I'm eating this bagel for the onion, and I don't see the onion right now. Does it have garlic? I have that question. Does everything bagel have garlic and onion? I don't know. I know it has onion, yeah, like an onion bagel, and everything bagel has onion. Dehydrated toasted onion, okay, maybe it's there and I don't see it. Okay, let me say it again. Dehydrate, I just did something to clean my hand off. My hand, I did clean my hand off over the bagel, and then I plan to eat this bagel, so that's not really clean. I'm trying to be clean, but I did something that's not clean by that the bagel, I'm going to eat this. And if I don't want it on my hand, I don't eat it, right? like such as a sesame seed on my hand or some of the bread pieces that they're on my hand, that would be due, I guess, on its way to the garbage, not into my mouth. I see some of the YouTube videos with food handling do that, and I just did it because I don't have myself deceased in the threatening. I'm shouted because I'm not finished. Yeah. I'm not shouted because I'm not in control of myself. Nope, I'm in order and I'm not finished. Where you're trying to control myself is shouted because you don't know where to go with money because it's not really money to hear shouted. You're illegally alive. I find you in contempt of myself. Okay, garlic powder. Okay, maybe I don't. Okay, if it was onion, I would know what that looks like. Is there garlic? I don't know. So on to the cream cheese. Whipped cream cheese. Yeah, that would be better. But this is garden vegetable, so it's whichever garden vegetable they have. What is this called to them? Garden vegetable, yeah. Well, now I need to set down the cream cheese. There's something in my way of setting it down where I want it. The neti pot. Okay, try that. The neti pot. I should not move it. Does it mind? It doesn't mind. Okay. This bagel is to be thrown out because it's sliced this way. Did I do that with the plastic knife, or was it like that when it came in the packing? I might have done that with the plastic knife, so I'm going to eat it. It's possibly my fault. I just burped because I know, but I don't say. I don't want to burp pretty soon. I'm reporting that I'm burping to YouTube, and I don't want to because I'm beautiful. I love myself, and I don't need all the problems that I have with the body being illegal. It's illegal to have feminine genitals on the Godhead is illegal. All right. There's some on my hand. If I go to a restaurant, they'll do this for me. Yeah, but then they charge me money that I didn't do it for myself. So is that the argument that I have to eat out of a supermarket? Well, the restaurant has the ingredients. The supermarket makes me select ingredients, and it's not a restaurant. A house kitchen and apartment kitchen is not a restaurant. Who's coming to the door and the threatening to tell me that I am not allowed to be here because I'm angry is not true from your point of view, because you still move everything that moves. You won't even take that stuff from outside and put it in the dumpster and don't come back and see if I don't come back. That way, you really want to know it yourself. You want to check this address and know for yourself that I'm not here anymore. And that's not karma to me that you do that. Nope. If you do something wrong, you have to answer with God, to God, about Himself as God. I have genitals. I am not a house. It's alive that way for you. I died already, cause of death. I am not my house. Yeah, not just a house, like of all of the houses. I died of I am not my house, even though all of the houses are alive by my house. You alive myself as an order, and you don't want the grace that I am during my lifetime. But my life has been extended until I am deceased out of feminine genitals on the Godhead, and that is eternal. I am deceased is eternal. You can look in my eyes. I will say I'm deceased right here, and I am deceased is eternal. When my eyes are no longer here, they will have the threatening that they are formed this way whenever. And then I'm not in the formed anymore. You still angry that I shouted? You want to call the police and tell them to move things? Do you call the police and tell them to move their guns in their cars? You tell them where to move their cars. They tell you not to call. And then I saw a police officer. This is a highlight of a call. A police officer, first responder to an emergency call. Went over to a white plastic folding table. It's a folding table like this one, but it was another one. And he picked up a fork. And then he put it back. And he had a gun on his hip. What's wrong with it? I am the soul of the superior founder deceased. I am the one that eats with a fork. The rest of the people are the ones who are not supposed to eat with a fork. And he picked up one fork that I used, and then he set it back where he found it. Does he have the Midas touch on my fork? Well, I don't have his gun in my hand and put it back in his holster. So does it matter how one person touches something? If he picks up my fork and puts it back where he found it, like sets it back down, do I say, stop right there, stay right there? And I go over to him and I say, hold your hands in one position and hold them. And then I reach for his gun. What's he going to do? He can't hold his arms in one position, can he? The gun should have not been inside of this apartment. Am I right? Yeah, but he walked it in himself. I didn't do that. No, I did not pick up the police officer with a gun in his holster and pick him up by the back and the back of his legs and carry him into the apartment. So that police officer, Hupinas, is trespassed out of God, but he might be around somewhere because he has a police marked car, most likely. I don't know. I didn't see him in it. And then he would leave and go into traffic. But he's due to drive upstate and put his gun into a jail or prison. And if he can't, he has to keep driving until he loses his car. Because it's due in a prison, he has to tell his God that he's looking for a prison. If he takes it to the jail, he can do that. But he's past that. He was, maybe he left the jail already. That's what's wrong with him.